What's up, y'all? It's your boy Winston Wolf. I'm back. I just want to do a quick video. Yes, the air conditioning is on. No, I'm not shutting it off. And yes, it is November 12th, the middle of November, and I have the air conditioning going. Shut up. Don't care. So, Yellowjackets. It's a show on Showtime. Let me just first tell you, everything that Showtime has ever put out has been absolute trash. I don't care. You could sit there, and I know there's some idiot that's like, oh, well, what about Spartacus? Spartacus sucked. Spartacus obviously was a 300 ripoff, but then the more that you watched it, because I was forced to watch the whole show at one of my old jobs in the kitchen. I took a side job working in the kitchen, and this guy would bring in his tablet, and it had like magnets so you could put it on the freezer next to where we were working, and you hook it up to the Bluetooth. And for some reason, he felt the need to run through the whole series of Spartacus, and it was painful. That show... If you know enough about movies, you can spot every movie that they steal dialogue, scenes, everything from. And I don't care that the lead died of cancer. That doesn't give the show a pass. Just because somebody croaks, it doesn't automatically make the show good. Spartacus sucked. Everything that Showtime does sucks. So, and also, before I start talking about Yellowjackets, because they've been promoting the return of Dexter and Yellowjackets at the same time, Dexter has always sucked. Anybody that thinks Dexter, for years I'm here, have you watched Dexter? No. And I know you watch it because you're the type of idiot that reads People magazine. You watch Dancing with the Stars. You watch The Masked Singer. You have kids, so you think that the Lego movie is a good movie. Just shut up. Just stay in your dumbass, slow-thinking, paint chip eating, paste slurping lane and leave us alone over here, people that actually know what's good. While I'm on Dexter, and yes, I'm about to get into a Dexter rant before I even talk about what the video is about, Yellowjackets. Dexter has always sucked. Like I said, for years, people have always said, you should watch Dexter. No, you should watch Dexter because that's your speed. Slow. Why can't they make a show about a real serial killer? I don't get it. Grow some balls, make a show about a real serial killer. Stop having this garbage show. Well, he's a serial killer, but he only kills people that deserve it. Yeah, that's so realistic. That's so... And then the guy that they got to play Dexter, he is light in the pants. He's a glory hole jockey. He has scabs and dirt on his knees. Nobody's scared of him. And I don't care. You can sit there and be like, well, there's lots of serial killers that... No, if you're going to be a serial killer, I need some kind of edge to you. I need to believe it. You don't believe it. This guy is sad. Have you ever seen that movie Gamer? Not too many people have because it sucks. If you want to see the caliber of acting that dude possesses, watch Gamer. Watch Gamer and you will cringe so hard that you give yourself a back adjustment. You won't even have to go to the chiropractor. That's how bad you'll get the douche chills watching this hack. I don't even know that Michael Anthony something. It doesn't matter. I don't care. He's a loser. He's a terrible actor. That's why they had to bring Dexter back. Because Showtime doesn't have any good ideas and he doesn't have anything on the horizon. So, of course, it was a match made in garbage heaven to bring that stupid show back. Dexter sucks. It's cornball, it's cheesy, it sucks. So Yellowjackets. I saw a couple ads and I kind of read something about it because when you would see the ads, it just looked like some normal girls hating each other type of stuff that nobody is interested in. But then you see there's like a Lord of the Flies element into it. So I read about it. Because number one, I wanted to see if it was based off of a book. If it was based off of a book or a book series, then I might have some hope for it. Because you can't just depend on Showtime to come up with anything quality on their own. This is evident. History has proved this. So I looked it up and I saw that, of course it had, Lord of the Flies, there's some cannibalism, stuff like that. Got the basic plot, the story plot of it, the plot, whatever. So it's pretty much this championship high school girls soccer team in 1996. They go to the finals or state championships, national championships, whatever. One of the dads or one of the girls is rich, so he charters them a little private jet. The jet crashes somewhere, I think, in super wooded up north Canada. I think that's where it is. To where they might as well be on a whole nother planet. They're so far out. But the plane crashes, and then the girls, the little squabbles that they had when they were back in the normal world kind of manifest themselves to where they make little tribes and then the tribes fight and kill each other or whatever. It's when you watch some of the trailers and you read a little bit about it, you get the whole gist of it. You get the whole thing. So the first episode, it's up on YouTube for free. I didn't realize it, maybe like 2 or 3 days ago it was on there. But I ended up watching it this morning because I finally had a day off. And it is exactly just underwhelming, subpar, just as much as you thought. The one thing that stands out, and it just takes you completely out of the show, is just how the women that play, because they go back and forth. You see the younger girls, when they're in high school and, just how they interact and, they're setting up that, but then they cut back to when they're adults to, 2021. They cut back from 1996 to 2021. So you see the adult versions of them. And yeah, it's 25, 26 years ago, but the actresses that they got that play them, they are way older than they should be. And even if they are on, around that right age range, they age like milk. They're aging like bread. They should have got different actresses. I understand you want some people that, like, what's her name? Juliet. Oh my God, she was in From Dusk Till Dawn. Cape Fear. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. She's in there. She's like pushing 50. She looks way too old to be the adult version of her teenage self. Same goes with every adult version of the girl in there. They are way, way too old. And like I said, even if they are the right age, they look way too old to be the adult versions of them. Because now people, they don't age like how they used to. You ever watch old NBA clips of like Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale? And you look at those dudes, you're like, man, they look like they was like 48 years old, chain smoking unfiltered cigarettes on the bench. Jesus. And then you figure out they were like, Larry Bird was like 27 in a lot of that footage. You're like, what? And then you see people now that are like in their mid to late 40s and they're looking like, late 20s and stuff. It's just a totally different time. They should have got younger actresses to portray them, because that takes you out of it, because you're just like, man, these women are way too old to be the adult versions of them. Second, they set up why they're going to be killing each other in the first episode. They don't really show you too much of the whole Lord of the Rings aspect, or Lord of the Flies aspect in the first episode. But they do set up, the high school squabbles. Like, one girl is best friends with another girl on the team, and she's having sex with her boyfriend. She's, there's another girl that is on the soccer team, and she's not as good as the rest of the girls. So the rest of them have a meeting to pretty much freeze her out, to not pass her the ball when they're in the championship game. So I think one of them decides to, in practice, to give her a slide tackle. The girl that's not too good, give her a slide tackle and just injure her to make sure that she doesn't play in the game. So there's things like that. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's people at work that I absolutely hate. But in my job, there is opportunity, to move up, to make more money. So in order for me to do that, I have to at least pretend and play nice with people that I absolutely hate, that I would care less if they stopped breathing. But because of the work situation and just life, and you just have to be an adult, I have to pretend to like these people and work with them. And, when it comes down to it, it's not that big of a deal. So knowing that, and then I watched the show and I'm like, man, if I was on an island, or if I was, stranded, crashed on an island, or deep in the forest, like they end up doing, and I have to just work with these people just to survive, people that I hate, people that have done terrible things. I mean, unless somebody, kills your kids or commits some kind of unspeakable act, if you're thrown together in a situation to where you guys have to make shelter and campfire and stuff to survive, you're going to overlook that stuff. You're not going to go on a killing spree because, some people froze you out in a soccer game. You're not... They need to... I know, and I'm going to say it, most women are nonsensical, so to some people this might make sense, that they would make a mountain out of a molehill and end up killing somebody over some trivial problem. But it just doesn't seem realistic to me. It just seems like you would put all that stuff to the side if you crashed in the forest and you had limited resources and you have to band together to survive, especially if it's in the wintertime in Canada, northern Canada, I think it is. You're not going to, automatically be like, oh, well, this is my chance to kill this person because they didn't pass the soccer ball to me. No, just stop. And again, I was looking to see if this was based off of, a book series, because then, despite that it's Showtime doing it, I figured there would be more to it. There'd be, more detail, more things that make sense that they could get out of the book. But no, it's just, this is strictly a Showtime creation, so I'm not going to watch any other episodes. Juliette Lewis, that was her name. She's in it, and she's way too old to be playing the adult version of her high school self in that. But yeah, I'm not going to watch another episode. I don't care what happens, because they pretty much laid out what happens. They laid out everything that happens. The plane crashes, the girls have their problems. Those problems manifest while they're in the woods. They form tribes, they kill each other, they get rescued, they come back. There's some of them that survive, they're trying to move on with their life, but somebody within that group, or somebody that knows of what happened, as far as them acting like savages, is going to out them and, tell the public, because I guess the public is still enamored with this dumb story 26 years later in their world. They still write articles and books about it. And that's it. And I already know what's going to happen. Once they've already backed themselves in their corner to where they have limited places to go. But what's going to happen is, if this show ends up being successful, you're going to have things in like season 3, season 4, to where like, oh, more stuff happened while they were out in the forest, to where they ran into like some weird Canadian hillbillies that lived in the woods. Or there was other people in the back of the plane that, they didn't show you during the first season or whatever. And when the plane crashed, they got thrown out and they had their own little group that they ran into. It's going to be stupid stuff that they stretch, because they already blew their wad early on with telling you what the story is. And if you have any kind of thinking brain, that sounds like I don't have a thinking brain, saying if you have a thinking brain, that was terrible. If you have whatever, I'm not going to try to, if you have a thinking brain, you already know everything that's going to happen. You already know the only thing you don't know is who the person is that's trying to out everybody, that's trying to blackmail them, or whatever their end game is, to letting everybody know what really happened. That's it. You figured everything out. There's nothing more. There's no mystery to it. And I know people hate Lost, but they set that show up so good with wanting to know what's next. They set that show up, especially in the first season, as far as they ended it where you wanted to see the next episode, because they had so many unanswered yet cool questions. They messed up by not doing that with this. Yellowjackets, the first episode, the only episode I'm gonna watch. Man, it's Showtime. So me giving it, my rating system is 0 to 10 dog bones. I give it a 2, and that's good for Showtime. Showtime should love that somebody like me is giving them a 2. That's very generous. Yellowjackets, pass on it. I don't care if they put every episode for free on YouTube. That's just time that you're wasting that you could be watching something else worthwhile. This is your boy Winston Wolf. Yellowjackets sucks.